World Under-17 Challenge coming up in November. And we are set to get underway. And Team Red has decided to change the numbers of about 4 of their defensemen. At least that's what the lineup card says. So just when you think you're ahead of it, now you might be behind. But here we go with William Shields from Falmouth, Nova Scotia. And the starting goaltender for Team Black is Gabriel Daigle. And he was the number 2 overall pick as it's in behind Team Red starting goaltender, which today is Landon Miller. Miller is from Thornhill, Ontario. He's a second-round pick of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, 16 years of age, and played this past season for the Vaughan Kings. So an early opportunity for Team Black. Spencer Gill, a TELUS Cup champion this season with the Moncton Flyers. And here comes Berkeley Catton from Saskatoon. Carries into the zone, dishes off. Catton, the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 Western Hockey League draft last December. He wears number 15. Good save by Miller, and Team Black forced to regroup. Henry Muse just out of the reach of Clark Caswell with Malcolm Spence. He was the number 2 overall pick in the Ontario Hockey League draft of the Erie Otters. Gavin Hodnett back to Julian Lanthier. And that is Taryn Smith. So the numbers actually, at least right now, look like they've stayed the same. But on the line combinations and D pairings, they look like they've changed. But they have not at this point. Smith was supposed to wear 21 in this game, but he remains in number 4. Should be a good battle. Lots of outstanding prospects on these two teams. And if the drafts are any indication, this is a pretty good group that is wearing the black uniforms. Backhand pass intercepted. Puck comes back to the line, and it will be cleared out to center. And now backhanded in deep by Sam Dickinson. He was a member of the Toronto Marlboros in the Greater Toronto Hockey League. And the 4th overall pick in the draft of the Niagara Ice Dogs. Number 2 in black. Few Toronto Marlboro players playing on opposite sides of the ledger in this game. It's always a bit of a fun twist. And generally, it can make things even more competitive. Muse up the middle, good lead pass. A great opportunity off the left wing side. And that was Antonio Tersini. And this is Peric to Boyar, and now Nathan Aspinall. His pass goes off the skate. And the net comes off its mooring as we get a look at Team Black goaltender Gabriel Daigle, the 2nd overall pick in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League draft of the Victoriaville Tigre. 6'3", 191 pounds. His hometown is Sorel Tracy, Quebec, and he played this past season in the U18 AAA League in Quebec with St. Hyacinthe. Muse. Tapped ahead, held in by Macklin Celebrini, who was in on all 3 Team Red goals last night. Formed a really good combination in the first game with Beckett Seneke, who had a goal and an assist. But so far, it does not look like they're playing together today. Things been mixed up, and that's all part of the evaluation process. Lanthier, a good skating defenseman out of Quebec, to Celebrini. Just off the skates of Justin Poirier. Poirier scored a goal last night on a great wrist shot. Opened the scoring in this camp. And cleared out. As here comes Christopher Brown. To Ollie Josephson. Smith keeps it in. Wants Brown out of his reach. Spence will protect it on the boards with some help from Dickinson. They want to clear, unable to do so. And back goes Tristan Doyle. The first round pick in the Western Hockey League draft in December of 2021. And he is a fine puck-moving defenseman. Potential 2-on-1. Josephson wanted Brown. May have another chance to deliver it. Here comes Poirier. It's the trailer, and that's a terrific defensive play. Well, there's a reason why you'd be picked number 4 overall in a draft. Sam Dickinson. Great positioning, excellent stick, and takes away a potential high-end scoring chance. Dickinson, 5 goals, 39 points in 46 games for the Toronto Marlboros. Had a goal and 2 assists for 3 points in the OHL Cup tournament. If you have never witnessed the GTHL competition, it is fierce, and it has started to really produce a lot of the high-end players in our country. But all regions, provinces well represented here at this camp. Carson Wetch, a first-round pick of the Calgary Hitmen. Wears number 14. He's from British Columbia. His Muse behind the net to his partner. Off the stick of Wetch. And Lanthier back to collect it. Caswell in deep on the forecheck. He's from Brandon. A Swift Current first-rounder. And here comes Aspinall on left wing. Leaves it for Gavin Hodnett. Hodnett trying to drop it back to the point, and that is well defended by Caden Petrie, the first-round pick of the Flint Firebirds. And he was a member of the Vaughan Kings. Raul Boyar drags it behind the net, tries to backhand it for Aspinall on the short side. That was broken up. A lot of play in the middle of the ice. Here comes Tersini wheeling in. A great opportunity for Carter Lowe, but he missed from close range. Tersini off the boards. He's been dangerous early on. And there's Dickinson. Tersini thought Lowe was offside. He wasn't alone. Doyle trying to move it ahead, and there's Dickinson again. Hard not to like him. Pretty impressive first few shifts in my first viewing of number 2 in black. And he'll carry the puck ahead now. Dickinson tries to dance around his man, unable to. And here comes Celebrini in transition. Celebrini off the skate, and that tests Dag. We are in for a good one, I think, this afternoon. First 7.5 have been highly competitive. And remember, one team has a game under its belt, and that's Team Red. Second of 3 games. We will bring you one more on HN Live tonight, starting at 7. Josh Fluker. Product of Manitoba. Poirier to the front. And that is gobbled up. And Dickinson sends it ahead for Kaden Lindstrom. He's from Chetwynd, British Columbia. Third-round pick of the Medicine Hat Tigers. And might have gone much higher in the Western League draft, but There was a lot of talk about him going the NCAA route, and I think that scared some teams off. Muse. Stolen Brown. He's got Josephson in front. Josephson! And Daigle got a piece of that. Well, there's the best chance and the best stop early in this first period. Here's a quality move and a good chance. There's Merrick Vanacker with a nice little burst and opportunity. Shot right on. Turned aside is Brown. Sends Zane Perrick away. Now the game's starting to pick up. This is Keith Mckinnis. Mckinnis runs into a solid jolt. Muse wants Spence, finds him, and now Muse with control. Tries to turn away from pressured as Muse, clears it to the line. Mckinnis will hold it in briefly before it's dragged out to center ice by Kaden. Kaden has already played 10 games with the Spokane Chiefs. Here's an opportunity for Hodnett, but he fired it wide from close range. Spence trying to drive around Lanthier, who defended him well, got a good enough angle to force him to the end boards. Seneke, a goal and an assist last night. Nifty little move. Seneke tries to go for the far side, and Daigle stopped him. Another member of the Toronto Marlboros U16 AAA team who had 80 points during the regular season. And here comes Wetch. Takes a hip check from big Spencer Gill from Riverview, New Brunswick. A 5th overall pick to the Rimouski Oceanic. Look out! Wetch with a huge hit. One of the best of this event so far. Not as much physicality in the game, but it's not lost quite yet. Lowe, he had a good chance earlier as Team Red defends the house area well, and it's flipped ahead for Aspinall and Daigle. Chance to watch him play the puck. Does it well there. Fluker, good puck-moving defenseman for Lowe, who shovels it in. And Smith takes over. He's from Porcupine Plains, Saskatchewan. Also the home of former NHLer Kelly Chase. Here's Celebrini darting to the middle of the ice. Celebrini fans on a backhander. There's a good stop by Daigle from close range as Celebrini continues to show his skill. Muse kicked it, broken up by Shields. Tersini. As Celebrini back defensively in his center ice position. And Smith does a nice job to turn away from pressure and find an outlet. Cormier for Celebrini. Tersini one more time. 8 versus 8. Tersini with a good move, and then it's broken up in front of the net. That's a fine defensive effort. Oh, this is fun this afternoon. Enjoying the daylights out of this first period. And both teams look to make changes. Both goaltenders have been tested. Game 1 of the day started competitively, didn't end that way. It was a 12-4 victory for Team White over Team Gold. Team White will be in action. They have 2 games today. Again tonight at 7 against Team Green, who won their camp opener last night. Mckinnis for Doyle. Chipped in as Poirier gives chase. He's from Valleyfield, Quebec. William McIsaac greeted by Brown. Josephson tries to play it to the front. Vanacker got in the road of that pass attempt, and then the shot from Doyle. We'll make that Perrick. Deflects out of play. Perrick and Doyle, very similar type players. Both very much of the same type of stature. Both right-handed shooters. And both very effective. Perrick is a first-round pick of the Saginaw Spirit Lanthier. High wrister over top of the net. And there's Dickinson with a great lead pass. He'll head to the net. They score! Merrick Vanacker, his second good opportunity, and this one he makes good on as he gives Team Black the game's first goal. And Vanacker had 25 of those. The Brantford product, who played for the Brantford 99ers this past season. Adam Fortier-Gendron. Here's a great chance. Muse steps up on the rush. Spence, and that's an excellent stop. As Miller turns that shot aside. Well, won't be the first time he's had to deal with Malcolm Spence. And won't be the last. Fortier-Gendron, Catton, just poked away from him by Gill. Comes to Spence. Cuts to the middle. Nice balance. Finds Muse. Wrist shot blocked in front. And cleared. As Landon Miller leaves it for Kristen Doyle, partnered with Taryn Smith, a couple of exciting young Western League products. Hiroki Gosic is another. And that puck flipped smartly and out of harm's way towards center. Gosic. And Wetch tries to move it ahead and he'll play it to an open wing. McIsaac knocked off the puck. Here comes Aspinall. Nathan Aspinall turning on the end boards. Finds Gosic, lets it go. Sharp angle, a stop. Aspinall tried the wraparound, but that was stopped. McIsaac and Fluker, they're two defensemen. They were leading the rush as Caswell had an opportunity, but he was tied in a knot before he could get a shot away. Aspinall at the end of a shift, bumped off the puck, and here comes Fluker. Josh Fluker has it stripped from him by Zane Perrick. Here comes Celebrini against Dickinson. That's a good one-on-one matchup. Mckinnis got through the screen and kicked away by Gabriel Degg. Boy, you've got to like a goaltender a lot to make him the number 2 overall pick in a league. And looks like he has all the attributes. If this first period is any indication, Tersini runs over Perrick. And here's Benjamin Cormier for Celebrini. He'll twist. Centered in front, good defensive play in front of the goal that time by Fortier-Gendron. Well, we go back and forth. Celebrini hooked up in the middle of the ice and then clobbered. Huge hit by Petrie. Another big body blow. His physicality picks up. Muse. Very smooth with a puck in his own right, Henry Muse. Lindstrom. He has it stripped by Christopher Brown, and Josephson does well to transition from skate to stick as the speedy center bursts into the zone. 5th overall pick in 2021 to the Red Deer Rebels. That's knocked down by a high stick of Josephson and blown down as this contest really picking up in every single way, which speaks to the competitive nature of the individuals and the two teams. And this is all about these youngsters really taking a first big potential step in the Hockey Canada process. It is no small order to be part of this group. Kaden plays it ahead. Ryder Ritchie, number 7. The son of former NHLer Byron Ritchie. Seneke, nifty little pass. Springs Hodnett through the middle. But he's checked off the puck before he can get a shot away. Seneke to the front of the net. Robbed by Diggs, still free. But they blew it down. What a great chance for Seneke, who just always seems to be in the right spots around the net. And he went to the forehand deke, and Digg made an outstanding save. Off of Seneke, who continues to impress. 35 goals and 80 points in 45 league games with the Toronto Marlboros. Perrick stepped up, missed his man. 2-on-1 opportunity. Caswell and Wetch, but that's defended well in front. Perrick will go right back at you the other way. Gosic strips Fluker. He's tripped in front. Play continues. That's fine. Now there's going to be a penalty. Mckinnis to Aspinall down low. Wanted Gosic the side of the net, but his stick was lifted. And with just under 2 minutes to go in what's been a dynamite opening period, it is Sam Dickinson on his way to the penalty box, and he is a product of Toronto. Celebrini on the draw for Team Red. Poirier can really shoot it, and he just showed you a little demonstration right there. Poirier reminds me just a little bit, and I mean just a little, of Cole Caulfield. Caswell to the front of the net, broken up. Forche Gendron. And there's going to be a penalty coming up to Team Red, and it looks like Poirier's on his way to the penalty box, the 4th overall pick in the Quebec League draft, to the Bay Como Drakkar. I remember a charter flight I was on one time, my way to do a junior game back in my Sportsnet television days. I still don't know how we landed in Bay Como on the sheet of ice, but fortunately we did. It's the first thing I think about every time someone is from Bay Como or plays for them. Lanthier makes his way down, trying to beat low to the net. Now he'll spin and shoot it, goes off the outside of the post. Cormier collides with Fluker. And here comes Thomas DeRousseau. One-on-one with Lanthier and almost flipped it top shelf short side. There's a nice Little effort. Good hands by DeRusso. Here's good hands by Cormier. His wrist shot. Got a piece of dig. Was going high anyway, I think. Into the final minute of period number 1. Hockey in July, if it's going to be like this, sign me up. Well, you could sign me up any day of the week for this sport at this level. Who's kidding who? Smith is taken down. And there will be a penalty coming up to Team Black, who have the only goal of the first period, Merrick Vanacker. With that goal, he was the 23rd pick in the first round of the OHL draft by the reigning champion Hamilton Bulldogs. Doyle. So a 4-on-3 power play. This is a good situation to take a look at people in as well. Ooh, nearly stolen by Elliott L'Italien. Seneke, good cross-ice pass. Perrick back in front. Celebrini, no mistake. With 1.1 seconds remaining in the first. That was beautifully executed. Cross seam diagonal pass, Seneke to Perrick, and then he put a beauty on the tape of Celebrini, who has his second goal and his 4th point. Seneke now with 3 points in the event, a goal and 2 assists. And when those two are on the ice together, good things happen. 1-1, great first period. We'll be back in about 15 minutes' time with period number 2. We're excited to bring this one to you here on HN Live. Second period underway. First game of the event for Team Black, second for Team Red, and we watched an excellent first period. A 1-1 tie. Team Red falling in overtime to Team Green yesterday. And might have enjoyed that period as much as any of the previous 6 that we've seen. Puck flipped in as Team Black makes changes and Doyle takes over. Kristen Doyle, 17th overall pick to the Lethbridge Hurricanes, and has already spent time with them late last season. Seneke, who has an assist today. Good backhand pass, jumped over the stick of Poirier, and back comes Dickinson. Dickinson, Petrie, that goes off Perrick and tested Landon Miller, who had to be sharp on the short side. Celebrini, he's upended. There'll be a penalty. Celebrini, and interesting is Team Red to start this period puts back the trio of Celebrini, Seneke, and Poirier, who were so effective last night. And Seneke and Celebrini part of the power play goal that tied the game by the number 1 overall pick in the Western Hockey League US draft, Macklin Celebrini, who's from Vancouver and played the last couple of years at Shattuck St. Mary's. So Team Red back on the power play. There's Celebrini with a rocket off the post. Poirier to Shields. Wanted Perrick as Lowe comes out of the penalty box, so now it's 5-on-4. Perrick scoots into the zone, finds Seneke. Turns away from pressure. Celebrini on the flank to Perrick. Quick shot by William Shields, but he missed the target. Back to Shields. Seneke net front. There he is. Can't get much of a redirect on it. Here's Celebrini. Perrick. Celebrini fakes a shot. Finds Seneke. He'll play catch with Celebrini. Team Black trying to kill off this penalty, and it's not been easy as Seneke nearly redirected that pass. Dig. These guys look like they've been on a power play for quite some time. Perrick. Celebrini a rocket, and Dag read that like a book. Perrick. Shields robbed by Dag. So great opportunities on what started as a 5-on-3. One last rush left. Pass Brown. Team Black, they wanted icing, and they might have had a beef. Cormier. William McIsaac. For Vanacker, the Team Black goal getter. Here comes Spence with speed. Spence cross ice pass, but was on the backhand side for Lindstrom. Then he couldn't direct it on target. Cormier to Brown. He's from Tweed, Ontario. His pass intercepted, and back comes Vanacker to Spence. And Josephson back defensively. Might take a 3-game series between these two groups. Here's Brown off the bench with a good chance. And Dag had another answer. As this time he stopped Gavin Hodnett from close range. Chance at the other end. How on earth did that not go in the net? My goodness. Landon Miller somehow kept that out. There was room to be had on the short side, And the shot came quickly. Caswell to Dickinson. Caswell throws it across the crease. And here comes Jackson Vaughn, the Regina Pat prospect. Vaughn trying to deflect it in front. He does, and it's sent by Dickinson out of harm's way. Where Smith is back to regroup. Watch closely by Caswell. DeRousseau just overskates it, and then a pass as they try to spring Hodnett free and just missed him. Berkeley Catton can't beat his man. Boyard, sharp angle, and that looked like it might fall in the back of the net, but stays out. Fort J. Gendron steps up. Spence let it go from close range. Ryder Ritchie gets to it first. He dishes off. Fort J. Gendron short side, and that missed by about a foot. Here's Muse. He'll drop it off. Perrick lost it. Some stop by Miller off Spence. He doesn't miss many of those. Gosich into the zone with Hodnett. He'll one-hand it, and Ryder Ritchie is there. 14th overall pick to the Prince Albert Raiders. Ritchie avoids a hit from Josephson. Back the other way. There's a good opportunity for Boyar. And now a little extracurricular after the opportunity for 16-year-old Raul Boyar. He's from Sherbrooke, a 4th-round pick. Or was that Aspinall? Looked like it was Aspinall. 5'6". Again, with no numbers on the sleeves, can be difficult. Those two guys about the same height. They both shoot left and play the same side. It's going to be my new project. Maybe purchasing number sleeves for Hockey Canada jerseys. I think that'd cost me far too much money. Here comes Celebrini. Darts to the middle of the ice. His pass goes off of Cormier. So a lot of mixing and matching by Mark O'Leary over there. Head coach of the Moose Jaw Warriors. Former OHLer. Enjoyed watching him play, enjoyed chatting hockey with him. It's neat to have watched his progress, and he's been in Moose Jaw as either an assistant or a head coach since 2013-2014. Lanthier let it go. That's blocked in front by McIsaac, who chips it off the boards. There's a hit by Carter Lowe that is going to send him to the penalty box. I hear a lot of 24. And Carter Lowe on his way to the penalty box. He's from Toronto. 2nd-round pick of the Barrie Colts and another member of the Toronto Marlboros who had 50 points in 46 regular season games. So a Team Red power play. They had many a good look in their last one, but couldn't beat Daig. Dickinson goes off of Team Red into the Team Red bench. And right now, O'Leary on this power play has Josephson, Brown, Doyle, Lanthier, Lanthier rink wide on the tape of Tristan Doyle. Doyle, neat little pass for Cormier, the other member of the power play. He just shoveled it wide. Josephson in the bumper. Cormier, rink wide, Doyle. Doyle, wrist shot, blockered, hit a body. An opportunity to clear, but Doyle does well to hold it in, but it's intercepted. And here comes Fluker. Fluker into the zone, lets it go. And it's blocked at the point of attack. Doyle for Josephson. Ollie Josephson has Celebrini. Christopher Brown back to Doyle. Doyle and Perrick. Celebrini. Perrick lets it go, but he fanned on it. On the last power play, he had a stick blow up in half on him. This time, Perrick's shot fluttered. And he had 21 points in 23 league games with the Markham Majors, not to be confused with the other Markham team, the Markham Waxers. A guy by the name of Stamkos was a pretty good Markham Waxer back in the day. Matter of fact, that's the first time I watched Steven play in his 15-year-old year. He was on a Markham Waxers under-16 team that also featured Michael Delzato and Cody Hodgson. It's a pretty good group. That was a heck of a year. Players born that ended up in the 2008 entry draft. Stamkos 1, Doughty 2, Pietrangelo number 4. Pretty good group. We'll see these guys in a couple of years. Nice move, Poirier. Shows off that skill again. And for a guy his size, he can absolutely shoot the puck. Poirier from Valleyfield, Quebec, 33 goals, 49 points for Chateauguay in the U18 AAA League last season. That had him at number 6 in league scoring. That shot deflects off a body and out of play. As for the first time in the game, things have kind of crawled to a bit of a halt as Mckinnis moved in and his shot made its way out of play. Team White and Team Green to come your way starting at 7. Team White with an impressive 12-4 victory over Team Gold in the morning affair that began at 10. DeRousseau has the puck stolen from him. Hodnett failed on an opportunity to shoot the puck. And back comes Team Black. Long lead pass broken up by Dickinson and now sent in by Smith, and he has quite a collision with Carson Wetch. Caswell from Brandon, Manitoba. Caswell into the zone with numbers, finds DeRousseau in front. Wetch a redirect, but couldn't get all of it. Caswell finds Dickinson. Misses his partner Fluker, and Aspinall wanted to chip it ahead towards Gosich, but ended up sending it into the Team Black bench. 9:33 to go. In case you have missed earlier games, regardless of the score, we will not be done after 60 minutes. They'll play a 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime and then follow that up with a shootout. So you get a little extra. Ryder Ritchie. Muse will track it down, find Fortier Gendron. to Spence, knocked away from him. Good work by Gill to come back. Paired with Lanthier. Gill, good slap pass, turns into a 2-on-1. Aspinall, Josephson had to jump over his stick. Back comes Catton, Spence, Muse. Miller just got enough. Ritchie finds Henry Muse. Dishes off in the high slot. That's a good play. Spence didn't get all of it. The soon-to-be Erie Otter, the number 2 overall pick in the OHL draft, is Gosich at the end of a lengthy shift. Wants to chip it in and make a change, and that's exactly what he and his red teammates will do. Back comes Spence. He and Celebrini, that's a good one-on-one battle. Petrie. There's Mckinnis. Knocks it away from him. The pass from Owen Phillips. Phillips from the Maritimes, but played last season in Pittsburgh for the Elite 15s. Phillips to Dickinson. The Petrie shot was deflected. Shields takes a great lead pass, and look at the work by Petrie to come back defensively. Celebrini now lets it go, and Daig blockers that away. That play by Petrie won't go unnoticed by the brass and the coaching staffs. Tersini to Petrie. And Perrick takes over. Perrick carries in, opens up his hips, goes in behind the net. Wanted Cormier. Back into the zone. Here's a good little rush up the ice by Elliot L'Italien. He's had some nice flashes. What a stop! My goodness. As Daig robs Justin Poirier. Marvelous save off Poirier, who can score. Did that 33 times this past season. Added 3 more in 4 playoff games. But robbed by Daig. We're going to love this guy in Victoriaville. Poirier headed in that direction again, but forgot to take the puck with him. And here comes Merrick Vanacker. Vanacker drop pass. And L'Italien takes over. Vanacker chips it out of play after Muse sent it in his direction. Henry Muse is from Nepean, Ontario. He was the 7th overall pick in the OHL draft to the Ottawa 67s, so playing right at home. And he was a member this past season of the Toronto Junior Canadiens. Had 78 points for the Junior Canadiens on their way to the championship final of the OHL Cup, where they lost to the Mississauga Senators 6-2 in that final at Mattamy Athletic Center. Big hit in behind the play. DeRousseau comes out from behind the net, allowed to have more room than I thought he probably figured he might get. Tess Miller, and Daig takes the bank and says, I'm okay to hang on. Daig 12-7-2 for St. Hyacinthe this past season. .259 the goals against, a .919 save percentage. Now his record was 3-5 in the playoffs, but goals against was .268 and a .926 save percentage. Had a 33 save shutout in a Game 5 series win and a 52 save performance against Levi as Gosich wires one past Daig, but goes off the crossbar. Seems like every time you spend any time talking about a goalie, the next thing you know, the red light comes on. Happened last night with Luka Kluche, who for about a period and a half looked like it might take a bazooka to beat him. Well, this has been a stellar display of hockey this afternoon. Doyle. Aspinall. His shot kicked out. Aspinall stays with it on the forecheck. And this is Phillips up the middle. Got through to Catton. Spence just onside. Malcolm Spence to the middle. Backhander blocked. Look at that stick. Ends up on the tarp. Dickinson moves in, lets it go, and Miller able to squeeze that. Malcolm Spence says, hey, I like that stick. Somebody needs to go up there and get it. Malcolm Spence from Mississauga, Ontario. Played for the Mississauga Senators. 29 goals, 56 points during the regular season, and had a big OHL Cup that the Senators captured. He had 6 goals, 7 assists for 13 points in the 7 games, including a goal and 2 assists in the championship final, where Michael Misa, who is the youngest player in this event, granted exceptional status, had 3 goals and 2 assists in the 6-2 win over the Toronto Junior Canadiens. Just out of the reach of Lowe, and a face-off will come back deep into Team Black territory. These prospects hoping to wear the maple leaf in November and be part of the World Under-17 Challenge, which returns to the hockey calendar in Langley and Delta, British Columbia. I believe the dates, we'll double check that. I believe it's November 5th to the 12th. So 66 Canadian players will make up 3 teams, red, white, and black. Cormier, he'd like to be there. Shot was blocked, Celebrini. And it was a chance for Petrie to get away, but he lost his balance. Tersini uses his speed to win a race to a loose puck. Dickinson walks down the boards. Check off the puck, and a really good play by Perrick. Zane Perrick is one smart defenseman. And there's one Miller would like to have back. Didn't look overly dangerous, the wrister, but it most certainly was. And it's Josh Fluker who squeezes it through Landon Miller. And Fluker, with just under 4 minutes to go in this second period, gives Team Black a 2-1 advantage. Fluker from Boissevain, Manitoba. He was the 7th overall pick in the 2021 Western League draft to the Swift Current Broncos. Played for Team Manitoba at the WHL Cup. He and Jonas Wu really carried the mail for Team Manitoba on the back end. Both first-round picks. And Wu was an excellent player earlier today for Team White. He'll be on display again tonight at 7 against Team Green. So the Fluker goal gives Team Black the advantage. No shots on goal being kept in this game. So would love to share that with you. There's some diligent work into the zone and diligent both sides by Josephson to make sure the forward didn't get to the net. Lanthier takes a hit to make a play, but made a good one. Helps his team exit the zone. Here's Josephson, and he's well defended by Forche Gendron. L'Italien opens things up into the slot. Muse! There's a big stop late in the period by Miller to rob Henry Muse. Wetch takes quite a bump from Jackson Vaughn. Mckinnis finds Vaughn to Hodnett. Twist and turns looking for time and space. Mckinnis keeps it alive. McIsaac now in a battle with Seneke. Good work by Hodnett to keep it alive, and his pass, though, comes outside the line. Hodnett wanted Seneke, but broken up by DeRousseau at the line. Seneke with an assist on the Celebrini goal earlier in the game. And Team Red will have an offensive zone face-off opportunity with just over a minute to go in this second period. Here at HN Live, we will bring you all of this camp. We will bring you games from the under 18 camp as Canada will pick the best 2005 born players. And trust me when I tell you that is a great age group for the upcoming Hlinka Gretzky tournament in nearby Red Deer, which will start July 31st. Raoul Boyard with Gosich into the corner, battling Dickinson. Phillips is there to help him out, and good play by Owen Phillips. He's from Halifax. Catton racing towards the front of the net. Ritchie swept off his stick, and here's Perrick again. He has an assist in the game, and he'll cross corner, shoot it in to allow his team to make some changes. Berkeley Catton started the year at Shattuck St. Mary's and now delivers top shelf. The first overall pick in the 2021 Western Hockey League draft. Off the bar and in for Berkeley Catton of Saskatoon. And that was some shot. And Team Black adds to its advantage late in the period. Catton's first of the camp. And that exploded off the Spokane Chiefs stick. Played in 9 regular season games for the Chiefs. Shields looking to draw to within 1. Celebrini, time running out. Maybe one last shot attempt. There it comes. Did make its way through, but not with much on it. And Team Black will take a 3-1 lead to the dressing room. Well, it's been highly enjoyable through 40 minutes. We look forward to the final 20. Then we'll give you a little bonus. 3-on-3 overtime and a 5-player shootout. That could go longer than that. We've seen that twice too. You're watching Hockey Canada's Under 17 Development Camp here on HN Live. Welcome back to the Mark and McPhail Arena here at Winsport in Calgary. An excellent game number 3 of this Hockey Canada U17 development camp, with Team Black leading Team Red 3-1. Been the best of the 3, and even a number of hockey people have commented on that in between periods. Here comes Celebrini, who has the lone Team Red goal, looking for more. Dig just shut the wickets in the nick of time as Celebrini. This is Team Red's second game, and he's been in on all 4 of their goals. Scored a beauty on a power play after 2 great passes from Perrick and Seneke that set him up for a tap-in on the far side. Team Black, couple in the second, and have a 3-1 advantage. Perrick, bumped by DeRusso to the line for Forche Gendron. Watched the line well. Forced to his backhand side and staying with it. It's good defensive work by William Shields. The second first-round pick of the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles, 11th overall. The first was the first overall pick in Thomas Lavoie, who is playing in this event. Saw him earlier today for Team Gold, and it was a tough road for Team Gold against Team White. They lost that game 12-4. And it was a tough day in the goaltending department, unfortunately, for the Team Gold netminder. 10 goaltenders in this event, hoping to grab one of 6 spots. And let's remember, there's lots of league play between now and when the final 66 will be selected. So, and there's injuries to key players who are unable to participate this week, who will definitely be in the mix in a number of cases, as Spencer Gill shot blocked, and turning back is Kaden Lindstrom. Lindstrom's already played 6 games for Willie Desjardins' Medicine Hat Tigers. And boy, do they have a good one on the way. And first overall pick, and Gavin McKenna, who I thought might be here this week. But generally, if you're not granted exceptional status, and his agency, CAA, did not apply for that status. Here's good work by Hodnett, who maneuvers his way into a scoring area and lets the backhander go that tests Daig. Gavin McKenna was the first overall pick in the most recent Western Hockey League Bantam draft, which occurred in May for players born in the year 2007. This is the 2006 birth year, with the exception of Michael Misa. Seneke back out there. It's a big hit delivered on Jackson Vaughn. Seneke keeps it alive and poked ahead to center, and a chance. Tersini nearly got away. Antonio behind the net takes a couple of whacks from Terrence Smith. Goes off the skate of Dickinson and cleared ahead to Seneke, who drops it off and heads his way to the bench. One-timer teed up for Doyle, but he didn't get all of it. Didn't get much, in fact. And here's Antonio Tersini. Moves into the zone, and Doyle got in the road of that shot. Vaughn chips it up the boards, and just out is Petrie, unable to keep it in. Here's Muse. To Carter Lowe. He'll swing it to the other side. For Gosich, pokes it out to the neutral zone. As Spence was unable to keep it in. High wrist shot, well over top of the net, and now Mckinnis will race back to collect it. He's from Red Deer. Intercepted, Spence Kaden, he scores! Second of the game for Berkeley Kaden. Second in concession, in fact. Scored a beauty of a wrister, top shelf in the late stages of the second, and Kaden has his second on a nice feed from Malcolm Spence. His number 2 in the OHL draft feeds number 1 in the Western Hockey League draft. And Team Black adds to its advantage. Perrick back to collect it, but just before he did, icing is called. Berkeley Kaden started to tell his story a little earlier, but the play got in the way. Well, his goal did, and didn't get in the way. It was a beauty. He started last year at Shattuck St. Mary's in Minnesota, then came back to Canada, to his hometown, played for the Saskatoon AAA Blazers, had 41 points in 21 games. Here he comes again with Ryder Ritchie. Kaden, backhander, loose, rebound, stop, Miller, as the net comes off, and Kaden nearly completed the hat trick. And while we're on the Berkeley Kaden train, had a goal and 4 points in 9 games with the Spokane Chiefs. Did not have a point in their 4 playoff games that he participated in. And has 2 in this contest. Celebrini back defensively, has the lone Team Red goal. Mckinnis fails to hold it in and finds his partner Owen Phillips. Clark Caswell bursts into the zone. Fended off. Good reverse from Mckinnis to Gill. Spencer Gill off the stick of Ben Cormier, who saves an icing. See if Team Red can swing the momentum here a little bit. They certainly have some weapons in order to do it, and have missed on some quality chances, and Gabriel Daig has certainly been one of the stories in the game. I don't think 4-1 really tells the story of how the majority of the game has gone. That late goal by Kaden in the first maybe took a little steam out of Team Red, who, by the way, are in their second game. They played last night. Phillips blows a tire, but still manages to play it up the wing. Good recovery by Phillips. Poirier trips up Mckinnis. Josephson. He'll take a return pass, come up the boards, swings his way to the middle. Poirier. Usually it's the snapshot. That was more of a half slapper. And it's never a bad idea for Poirier to shoot the puck. Wetch fell down. Look out! Ooh, that could have ended in a different way. Poirier and Caswell coming together, and both were just fine, and neither, surprisingly, hit the ice. Lindstrom picks a pocket. Kaden Lindstrom, but as he tried to move his way into a shooting area, forgot to take the puck with him. And Lindstrom in behind the play is into it. Looks like Poirier over there, and it is. So they have a tussle as Christopher Brown shovels it in. Dickinson to Fluker, who has one of the goals. Intercepted by Seneke. He ran into L'Italien, and Fluker carries on. And just offside at the line is Kaden Lindstrom. Lindstrom, 6'5", 190 pounds, out of British Columbia. Played with that very powerful U17 Delta prep team that won the Canadian Sports School League Championship. Had 60 points in the regular season and then had 19 points in 5 playoff games. Is that team with a lot of their best players who could have played U18 prep. They decided to put all their best 2006 born players in the U17 prep division, and frankly, all year they were too much for the competition, especially in the playoffs. Marquez had 30 points in 5 games. I mentioned Lindstrom with 19. Some big totals. Muse. Smith up the boards. Muse, great redirect by Tersini that tests Landon Miller. Tersini. Tersini, and maybe it's just because of his number. He shoots left-handed. He reminds me of a guy who played in Brampton many years ago, Wojtek Wolski. Senecki, good feed. Twisting and turning is Doyle. Wrist shot tipped in front by Hodnett, went wide of the net. Some of the best pressure for Team Red here in the third. And it's cleared back in by Mckinnis. Perrick. Sent ahead to Gavin Hodnett with Aspinall. Mckinnis started the rush and now backs off. McIsaac, but Aspinall steals it in a battle of fives. Spence, who set up the last cat and goal. Those two back out with Ryder Ritchie. And here is Ryder Ritchie. Berkeley Catton. One touch pass off a stick, stays in play. Ritchie, Catton wants 3. Misfired from about 5 feet. Ritchie tracks it down. And finally shoveled out and down the ice as Team Red relieves the pressure. Team Black playing its first game. Team Red at second. And this is highly competitive. Lots on the line. First games back after not a big break this year. Very short break for these kids. There's a close-in opportunity. And Miller makes that save. Off of Carson Wetch of North Vancouver. He's the 12th overall pick. The Calgary Hitman played in his first Hitman game late in the season. He helped the Burnaby Winter Club to the U18 Prep Canadian Sports School League Championship. Fluker, a hard shot, blockered away by Miller. Dickinson. Dickinson finds Caswell. Clark Caswell. Defended by Lanthier. Fluker, shooting lane, tipped. Out of play. As Fluker moves his feet well to find a lane, gets it to the net. Tipped in front by Wetch, but makes its way out of play, and a faceoff will come outside the line. L'Italien, who was the 8th overall pick in the Quebec League draft to the Blandville Armada. Lindstrom, good lead pass. Here's Dickinson. Drops it off, shot by Vanaker, who has the lone goal for Team Black, or one of the 4 goals. he opened the scoring. And Smith unable to get to it, and Brown couldn't get to it either. Now he finds it, looking for Josephson. Out of his reach as Muse reverses. Smith will bank it back in where Muse takes over. Takes a bump to make the play and made a good one. And it leads to an odd man rush. L'Italien. But Merrick Vanacker was a little impatient, heading to the net in hopes of his second of the game. Vanacker from Brantford will be a Hamilton Bulldog in the fall. 58 regular season points for Brantford, and then added 15 more in 9 playoff games, and had 5 and 4 games at the OHL Cup. Low. Chopped away from him. Goes through the feet of Seneke. And he accepts it at the line. Seneke finds space, dishes off. And Vaughn unable to take the pass. That's flipped. Deflected wide. Mckinnis. Stolen from him, and here's another chance. Low, waits, passes, but in behind Caden Petrie. Forche Gendron, down low. Tersini, nice tight turn, thought about the Michigan. Well, we've seen a couple of those. None have resulted in a shot. As Muse maneuvers his way into the zone, stays with it. Henry Muse banks it off the boards as his team is making changes. Team Red looking for a spark, might get it here. Gosich and Dag, really good concentration. Made the save on the short side, and then the puck went off the end glass, and he stayed with it and gloved it and held it. 6'3", 191 pounds is Gabriel Dag out of Sorel, Tracy, Quebec, in the 2nd overall pick. In the most recent of drafts, the Quebec League's draft went last of the 3 CHL Major Junior Leagues, and he was the number 2 overall pick, the Victoriaville Tigre. Another fun older building to watch a game in. Used to love calling a lot of games back in the day in those older style Quebec buildings. Here's Spencer Gill. He's going to play in one. Rimouski, they've done some work on it though over the years. Gill, little time to operate. Terrific pass for Aspinall. Goes off the heel of his stick on the backdoor feed from Spencer Gill, who had 7 assists in 7 games at the TELUS Cup in nearby Okotoks for the Moncton Flyers, who won the title. Here comes Catton again. He dishes off. Good try for Spence. Ritchie trying to find Catton. Dickinson walks the line. Sam Dickinson, wrist shot, loose. Ritchie, he scores. Ryder Ritchie makes no mistake in his first of the camp. Gives Team Black a 5-1 lead. And on paper, Team Black looked like it had a lot of ability and been pretty impressive against a good Team Red squad in their camp opener. Dickinson. Net must be off. Or are we going to net off? And Team Black created it, trying to drive the net as Dickinson went in behind it. Dickinson for the Toronto Marlboros, 39 points in 46 games. 4th overall pick to the Niagara Ice Dogs. Been very impressed with him today. I've been impressed with a lot of these youngsters. Hard not to be. Nice turn away from pressure by Adam Fortier-Gendron. Runs into Doyle and Shields. And here comes Celebrini. Macklin Celebrini. Backhand try, Shields. Cormier was there. Be interesting in their next game. They tried it for a couple shifts in the second to see if Team Red goes back to Celebrini, Poirier, and Seneke. They were so good last night. Looked great on a power play goal. And then had a couple of other shifts together. But haven't seen much of them together since. It's been Celebrini, Cormier, and Shields for the most part. Lindstrom. Kaden Lindstrom away from Justin Poirier, and here comes the left winger with speed as he tries to cruise right in. Rebound for L'Italien, but he shot it over top of the net. Lindstrom tracks it down again at the end of his shift, shoots it in, and heads off for a change. Well, it was 2-1 at one point, and it was dynamite. The Team Black is taken over. Josephson's pass will force the defender out. Lanthier. He will clear it back in. Julien Lanthier from St. Eustache, Quebec. 10th overall pick to Bay Como, as they had a couple of high picks in round one. He was one of them. I like what I've seen from this defenseman. 33 points in 40 games for St. Eustache, the U18 AAA League in Quebec. And that's always been one of the better leagues in the country as far as what is now referred to as U18 AAA in our country. Lanthier stays with it. Dickinson will hammer it. Vaneker in close quarters. Finds Lindstrom, who's right back out for another shift. Dickinson away from Jackson Vaughn. Takes a healthy run at him. Vaneker. Team Black on the cycle. Moving up is Fluker, looking for his second of the game, but he has his pocket picked. It's a nifty little move by Hodnett. And Vaughn will shoot it in, and he's exhausted. I'm sure a lot of the Team Red members will be. Tight turnaround. Less than 24 hours after their first game last night. Team White will play 2 games in a day. A number of teams will over the next couple. And here's Muse. Good skater. There are many of those. Been a lot of impressive puck-moving, right-handed shooting defensemen in this camp. Going to be interesting to follow their progress. Muse and Fluker and Wu and Doyle and a lot of the same type of player. Well, we know what Cale Makar has done for the hockey world as a right-handed puck-moving defenseman who looks like the second coming of Robert Gordon Orr. And I don't like to throw that around. That's one of the main reasons I fell in love with this sport as a very young person. Nobody will ever compare quite to Mr. Orr, but Cale Makar is a heck of a player. Aspinall. Good shot block. And flipped out with a 4-goal lead to center. Mckinnis is upended. Ritchie, who has a third period goal, had it roll off his stick. And should have mentioned Perrick in that group of puck-moving right-handed defenseman too, because he's been impressive. Perrick tripped up at the line. Yeah, Team Red's kind of run out of gas a little bit here in the back half of the game. Cormier off his stick. Cormier, he's from Orleans, just outside of Ottawa. First round pick of Owen Sound. Shields takes a Celebrini drop pass, and Shields let that shot go. No trouble for Degg, who has been very solid and borderline outstanding at times, certainly earlier in the game when he was tested more often than he has in the back half. Shields plays at Select Hockey Academy last year. Bishop Kearney, the name of the school in Rochester, New York. It's interesting these days where a lot of these young people end up playing on the road to an event like this. Fluker played with the Southwest Cougars of the Manitoba U18 AAA League. Here's Poirier. Toe drag and a shot off the stick of Gill. And Fluker on the reverse takes a quick look up the ice, tries to spring Spence. But Lanthier was not buying. It's an opportunity for Brown. Tries to shovel it in front. Wanted Josephson, but just out of his reach with 1:10 to go in this game. Our next one will come your way at 7 o'clock and will feature a pair of 1-1 teams. Team White, who knocked off Team Gold 12-4 earlier today. And Team Green, who downed Team Red in the first game of this camp as far as games are concerned, 4-3 in overtime. Seneke. He's hard to take the puck away from. Smith. Through the seam, Hotnet with a chance. Blockered away again by Degg. 5-1, not overly reflective of the type of game, certainly for the first two periods. Just two fantastic periods of 16-year-old hockey in July. Late goal by Catton and an early third period goal by Catton changed the dynamic of this game. Caswell bursts into the zone. Clark Caswell, nice tight turn, finds DeRusso. And in the road was Tristan Doyle, who may have saved a goal. Some room on the far side of the net. DeRusso, he's pulled down. Into the final 20 seconds. Muse has that puck go off his stick to the boards. Wetch versus Gosic, a pair of 14s who helped Team BC win the WHL Cup, and that is going to do it. An impressive victory for Team Black as they down Team Red by a count of 5-1. And as I just alluded to, for two periods, for hockey in July, played by high level 16-year-olds, it's about as good as it could be. It was fantastic. And we're not done, because we're going to give you a little 3-on-3 bonus, and we'll have a shootout to see more of the high-end skill of these youngsters on display as this Hockey Canada U17 development camp continues. It'll wrap up with 3 games on the 15th, which, if my days of the week are correct, would be Friday. It's been a summer where I've been all over the place and can't quite keep track of days of the week, it seems. Johnny Gaudreau, I understand, has just signed with the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I'm not sure a lot of us saw that coming. in this part of the world. And Columbus has been busy. Whether it was, they had a lot of picks in the first round of the draft. Of course, last year had a great season from Cole Sillinger, who, not sure anybody, even the biggest Cole Sillinger fan, and I'm one of them, thought that at 18 he would play as much and as well as he did. As this sport carries on, and in other sports as well, I'm finding more and more all the time that dads or family ties, there are a lot of connections where fathers play in the NHL and now their kids are following. And I've said a lot, although I'd probably like to, given the chance. Spent a lot of time calling their games, now their kids' games. I'm not sure I'm going to be around to call their kids' games. Well, probably like to. I might just be happy to sit back and watch at that point. So we're going to play 3-on-3, which will bring some interesting combinations on both of these teams. Looks like Lanthier, Josephson, and if Mr. Radke can give me a close-in shot of the bench, and as I ask for it, a little too late. And this is Seneke, is the other member. Turned the stick over and immediately could tell that was number 12. Had a nice visit with his mom before the game, who's in attendance from Toronto. And she said, she's been around watching these kids, especially in that GTHL, and in Ontario, said she thought Team Black was a pretty stacked team, to use her words, and well, looks like she knows what she was talking about. Here comes Tersini, bursting in, stopped by Miller. First excellent chance of this overtime period. Our first game actually required it to decide a winner, not the last two. Catton for Ritchie, just poked away from him, and here comes a 2-on-1 the other way. Celebrini, Hodnett, what a stop! Gabriel Daig. Dave Dawson, throw that on the HN Live highlight reel. Some kind of save by the soon-to-be Victoriaville Tigre. My goodness. Dickinson. Sam Dickinson away from Perrick. And the interception by Celebrini. Celebrini, as the puck knocked off his stick by Spence and knocked to the ice by Dickinson. Dickinson springs right to Ritchie. Ritchie against Perrick. Good one-on-one play. Spence follows up. Rebound, Ritchie. Doesn't go. It went in, I thought. Maybe the net came off, or Miller may have stopped it or been interfered with. We don't have the luxury of replays. I'd like to take a look at that. I'm not sure that ever went in the net, but the face-off comes outside, which would suggest to me that Team Black forced the net off its mooring after the stop. Be no other reason for the face-off to come outside. So what a save. Had two great saves by both goalies here in overtime. Cormier into the high slot, drops it off. Poirier cutting to the net, jams it, stopped again by Daig. He robbed Poirier earlier in the game. Here comes Tristan Doyle. Doyle a chance, blockered away. Poirier, will he shoot it? Wasn't allowed to, because Caswell made a fine defensive play. Doyle and Caswell. Cormier for Team Red. One-on-one with Mckinnis, who defended him well. Poirier. Ooh, DeRusso almost got away. Poirier off of William Mckinnis again. Mckinnis is from Vancouver. 6'3", 170 pounds, a second-round pick of the Spokane Chiefs in the December draft of 2021. Played at St. George's Academy in Vancouver. 5 goals, 16 points in 31 games. And has the puck now. Looks across at L'Italien and leaves it for Merrick Vanacker, who opened the scoring in this game. Way back in the first. Vanacker. Nice lateral cut to the middle. And then Gosic pokes it away. And here comes Team Red. Shields. Pretty good opportunity for the Falmouth, Nova Scotia product. Slowly developing, but nearly a good chance for Eric L'Italien. And this is Muse, who will back it up. And the coaching staff wants Vanacker to come off. It didn't look like he was overly impressed to make a change. Here's Lindstrom. Kaden in a circle around the zone. Puts on the brakes now. Works his way on the left wing side. Centered it in front. Almost off the skate of Gosic into the net. Muse at the right point. Looks for a return pass. Receives it. Muse. Saucers it. Finds Petrie. Now belongs to Lindstrom. Last minute of overtime. Lindstrom let it go. And Miller turned it aside. But we've had a winner in the first 2 overtime sessions. We're running out on this one. Down to 33 seconds. We will have a shootout as well as 3-on-3 overtime and shootouts are part of the evaluation. Byron Benora is the head scout for Hockey Canada's U17 program. Has done an excellent job in his first full year. Al Murray is Hockey Canada's head scout. And of course, they are both in the building. Busy summer for them. Here's a great chance. Carson Wetch. Landon Miller says no, no, no. Stops the Calgary Hitman prospect, Carson Wetch, and Wetch goes over and says, nice stop, Landon. Thought I had it labeled by you on the glove side. Wetch with control of it again. Maybe one last opportunity for Team Black. Josephson upends his man. He wants to spring somebody. They're going to get a break. It's Celebrini. Scores! And just in the nick of time. Well, Team Red, including that goal, has scored 5 total. Macklin Celebrini has been in on all of them. So a little bonus for Team Red after they lost the regular game 5-1 is Celebrini in the literally last second of overtime wins that portion. And Celebrini had their only goal during the regular 60 minutes of action on a pretty power play goal passing from Seneke to Zane Perrick to Celebrini. So here comes the shootout. And it's Malcolm Spence who starts it and had it roll off the heel of his stick. Shootouts for the goalies were a tough go-around in our last shootout. 6 shooters apiece, and it ended up 4-3 for Team Gold. Last night we had a 9-player shootout. Hodnett stopped by Gabriel Degg. Gavin Hodnett, first-round pick of the defending Western Hockey League champion, Edmonton Oil Kings. Here is Ryder Ritchie. Ritchie, yes indeed. Finds a perfect spot on the short side, just over the left pad. And here comes Celebrini. Macklin, stopped by Degg. As he kicked out the right pad. Catton, no mistake by Berkeley Catton, who had 2 goals during regulation play. The Saskatoon product. Here comes Seneke. Waits, and Degg goes across the crease with him. The stop, Beckett Seneke. So if it is technically 5 players apiece, this could end it. Tersini, nope. And here comes Justin Poirier, a 33-goal getter this past season with Chateauguay's U18 AAAs. Will he use that great shot? He did. Not sure if Degg got a piece or not. Well, Team Black wins the shootout, but I guess we're going to finish it out nonetheless. Thomas DeRousseau, stopped by Miller. Kept the left pad down to make a good save off DeRousseau. Second first-round pick of the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles. And now Christopher Brown. Off the post. And that is going to do it. So Team Red in a 3-on-3 overtime. Team Black, where the 60 minutes that mattered most, win 5-1, and Team Black in the shootout. So that will do it for game number 3. Hope you have enjoyed it. Absolutely loved the first 2 periods. And hopefully we get another dandy tonight when Team White and Team Green face off in a pair of 1-0 teams. And for Team White, it will be their second game of the day after their 12-4 win this morning over Team Gold. Well, for our entire HN Live crew, I'm Peter Loubardias. So long for now. We'll talk in about an hour.